Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mikestand. We're, of course, going to wait a few minutes, give people a chance to come in. Hopefully, everybody's having a good night tonight. Let's see. All right, well, it looks like we have a third person here, so I think I'll get started here a little bit and go over what's on tap for tonight. So, basically, tonight, got at least a couple of articles. Our two main articles we're going to look at tonight. The first one is going to come from Critical Blast, RJ Carter's site, um, with a report he did on Friday in regards to Mike Barron. Mike Barron, basically Private American versus Daily Costs. The whole situation with his campaign being taken down. And look into that, give some of my commentary on that. And then after that, there was another story that I found on finding in the comics today in regards to Vic Mignogna. Apparently, there's some more stuff Kick Vic is trying to pull once again. Hey, RJ, got the live notice 1 minute after live. Okay, sorry about that. Ah, a good thing I'm pretty good thing I'm pretty thorough and make sure that even if YouTube doesn't send them out in a timely manner, that I at least do make sure that you know. So, anyways, and now that I know you're here, and then of course after that, of course, we'll depending on how much time we got, I'll go through I'll go through CBR, see what we can find there, as well as the wrestling roundup and this day meets history. But anyways, RJ, you're here, so I'm going to go ahead. And as always, guys, one, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, help get more friendly people in here, help get the word out, get the information out for people to have. That'd be great. Also, anything here catches your attention, feel free to comment or ask questions, and I will try to answer questions to the best of my ability. Anyways, without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started? Anyways, let me get to this. Okay. Alrighty then. So, alrighty then. So let's get um. All right, Private American versus Daily Costs: Anatomy of a Kickstarter Takedown, submitted by R.J. Carter on Friday, December 9th, 2022, at 22:43. I'm going to guess is based on military time, so that would, I believe, be about 10:43 p.m. And I'm guessing that's also since you're in the central time zone, that's based on central time. I'm guessing, but I could be wrong. Anyways, Punisher creator Mike Barron releases another uh, Artist AF comic book by Star Mignon. Okay, so let's see what this is all about here. Mike Barron's Private American has been fighting an uphill battle since the project first launched to be crowdfunded. From having the project's Twitter account suspended to being silenced along with other projects on Indiegogo, um, the book's publisher, Chris Braley, finally brought the project to Kickstarter. On that platform, he began to get messages from another creator on um, Kickstarter. Uh, let's see, Gabriel Discordia, um, who asked the loaded question, quote, in quotes, why is this book so racist? When Braley countered that it wasn't, Discordia continued um, at, quote, it's by far the most racist comic book since Flick, by Frank Miller, um, unquote. Following that, Braley's published books by Barron, including Thin Blue Line and Florida Man, would quote sell well at a Klan rally, unquote. Oh boy! And then of course we get the screenshot here of the discourse, of the conversation, as it were. Oh boy! It was less than a day later that hastily scrawled article appeared at Marcos um, Motisas reactionary website Daily Cost. Um, the headline initially ascribed Barron as the creator of Marvel's Punisher, as it decried, quote, Punisher creator Mike Barron released another racist AF book, Seek, in parentheses there. His byline was attributed to Star Mignon. And we get the screenshot here that RJ had posted here. Let's see. It's based on wherever our server is located, which is about 5 to 6 hours, which is 5 to 6 hours off from Central Time. Oh, okay, all right, that's good to know. Thank you, RJ. Anyways, continuing on here. The article concluded with a call to action, listing the support email address for Kickstarter and the wording of how each complaint should read. Several of the readers commented in the discussion section of the article that they had done just that, until finally Kickstarter reported the project as suspended. This prompted Mignon to amend the article to declare victory, but to also direct the agitated minions. RJ, it might have been better to say direct his agitated minions. That might have been a better way to say it. His agitated minions. To reach out to the provided support addresses for both Indiegogo and Crowdfunder, with the rallying cry, quote unquote, you know what to do. Mignon maintains a Twitter account, but it has been dormant for a period of years. However, the account did link to a website for Pink Nightmare Squad. Note that the website lists as a retail partner, quote unquote, the website for the Discordia Culture Shop, a site that not so coincidentally uses the same iconography as Gabriel Discordia's avatar on Kickstarter. But Mignon and Discordia's association goes beyond being co-supporters of their website. It happens that Discordia is also a Kickstarter user for our campaigns, and is shown on Kickstarter to be a quote unquote trusted producer. Yeah, that sounds quite suspect, doesn't it? And I know because we, of course, discussed this on the Sunday show as well. RJ, you know this, talked about the conflict of interest and also just how sus that is, how suspect that is. Um, but what's truly damning about the currently funding Kickstarter listing is that it's not only for a graphic novel, SCP 5000Y, but that it also lists Gabriel Discordia and Star Mignon together as project co creators. Hmm. Yeah, very interesting. Hmm. You know, I brought this point up even though James said it didn't matter quite as much. But one of the points I brought up when we talked about this on Sunday, of course, was that you almost get the impression that if this guy has to go after, granted, we all agreed that it was more SJW than anything else. It's more SJWs trying to be SJWs more than anything else. But the point I brought up was this guy must have been so afraid of Mike Barron's success that you know he felt he had to do this to keep so he would have, I guess his book would have more of a chance to sell. um, you kind of get that feeling. Granted, we all still agreed that this is more SJW than anything else, but you'd think that if this guy seems so very insecure about his own project that he has to go after somebody else. So, that's just something that I wanted to bring up. I brought it up on Sunday, but you know, just another little tidbit there. Right, so with that, as we continue on with the article here, to reiterate, a graphic novel writer took to another highly frequented website to publish an article designed to take down another graphic novel writer's project on the same platform. Critical Blast has covered stories involving tortuous interference in the past, and there wouldn't seem to be a more cut and dried example than what has taken place here. However, that will be for legal experts to decide, and decide they will. Critical Blast interviewed Chris Braley and a panel of comic industry guests to learn what his plans are going forward to overcome the damage the Daily Cost article did to the project. A video below, of course, you can go to RJ's you can go to the Critical Blast YouTube channel to get the to get in. RJ, if you want to also share that link as well, you're more than welcome to. Chris Braley is the publisher of Bleeding Fool, which has published their own account of all these events. So here we go. So with that, get ready to move on to the next story. RJ, if you have anything more you'd like to add to this one, I'm switching over to the next story, the Vic Mignogna story. Feel free to share. Let's see now. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, it looks like he did share some stuff here. Um, there's, I guess, the link to the article. Thanks, man. No problem. Hey, anytime, my friend. No new news yet. All right. Well, maybe by Sunday we'll know something more. But maybe you can bring that up on Sunday's show. We can talk more about it then. Anyways, now let's get on to the next article, which ironically did actually deals with somebody who also had a torturous interference lawsuit filed that he himself had filed. Of course, we all know the result of that, but still they seem to be going after this guy, Vic Mignogna. So, all right, so comedian, and of course, as always, guys, if anything here catches your attention, feel free to comment or ask questions, and I will try to answer them as best I can. Um, Comedian Chrissy Mayer denies accusations that Vic Mignogna exposed himself on her podcast. In quote here, this was so obviously a boomer moment. Um, Article by Spencer McCooley, published December 13th, 2022, which of course was yesterday. All right, so let's get into this then. According to comedian Chrissy Mayer, voice actor Vic Mignogna's exposure of his pantsless lap during a recent appearance on her podcast was in no way sexual, but actually nothing more than a boomer moment. And of course, we've all had, if you've ever been on a podcast, a lot of people, we've all had those moments where maybe, we just weren't thinking and we just decided, okay, we need to get up to grab something or whatever, reach for something. And, you get a shot you weren't expecting, right? We've all had those, men and women alike. So, anyways, as we shall continue on with the article here. The moment in question occurred during the former Dragon Ball voice actor's December 4th appearance on the 53rd episode of Mayer's live general discussion podcast, the the Simpcast. The Simpcast. Oh boy. Actually, now I think about it, I think I've seen this lady on Ethan's show before. I think she's been on Ethan Van Sciver's show before, a few times. So, all right. So let's see. Beginning as a completely benign guest spot, Mignogna and Mayer spent the next 3.5 hours speaking with a rotating panel that included such guests as the post-millennial editor-in-chief Libby Emmons, fellow comedians Keanu Thompson and Hannah Franz, YouTuber Anna That Star Wars Girl Mello, and streamer Brittany Venti. So I guess here are some of the. All right. I thought Keanu Thompson was a guy. That picture there throwing me off. But things took a turn for the unfortunate in the show's closing moments, timestamp 3 hours, 21 minutes, 57 seconds, as the panel's final lineup of Franz, Thompson, Mayer, and Mignogna showed the customary YouTube etiquette of making sure everyone super chat donated throughout the night was read aloud. Right. I guess there are two Keanu Thompsons then, but, or I might be thinking of somebody else. I'm probably thinking Keanu Reeves. That's probably who I'm thinking of. But probably where I got kind of tripped up there. All right. So with that, let's continue on with this article here. Throughout this process, Mignana can be seen rarely leaning off to the side to type, ostensibly looking to another computer monitor, separately displaying the stream's YouTube chat, um, before returning his attention to his camera. But during one such lean over, upon his return to his main monitor, Mignana's camera angled down, revealing the voice actor's bare but for his underwear crotch. Okay. On noticing Mignana's new look, a visibly surprised Meyer, I guess it's supposed to be Mayor or Meyer, immediately moved to remove the voice actor from the show, telling the other two women, quote, "We lost Vic," quote unquote, as they all proceed to laugh. The stream eventually comes to its natural end roughly 10 minutes later. It should be noted that Mignana does not appear to physically. It should be noted that Mignana does not physically appear to physically angle the camera down himself, as his left arm can be seen actively resting on his desk, while his right hand can be moving across the field of view as it reaches for the mouse. So basically, I think what they're trying to say here is that basically he wasn't trying to purposely move the camera in such a way to give you that shot. That's what they're obviously saying right here. Bare but for his underwear is a long way of saying covered. Yeah. Well, sometimes RJ, you just have to be, especially with what we know about SJWs, what we've learned about SJWs in the last 2 or 3 years. You have to be extremely specific, unfortunately, because any little misstep, they will run with it. You have to, sometimes you just, even in conversation, you have to make sure you are very detailed and explicit in order to make sure the message is loud and clear. You know that as well as I do with what we've learned about SJWs in the last 2 or 3 years here. See. So Mayer was quick to edit out the brief, no pun intended, moment from the archived version of her show. Noted Kick Vic personality Lauren Renfamous Cooper, of course, managed to clip it beforehand, the next day sharing it on her Twitter with the caption, quote, "Former VA Vic Mignana exposes himself during appearance on all-female right-wing YouTube stream." And she just had to throw in the right wing in there, didn't she? Renfamous. She just can't get enough of her own. She sounds like one of those who really seems like she can't live without the sound of her own voice. Quote, "TW, Vic with no pants. leopards eating faces, unquote, she added. Whatever TW means. Anyways, I'm sure RJ was liable to tell me what TW probably means within a moment or so. From there, the clip, as well as Renfamous' specific read of it, began to spread on social media. Taking notice of the attention the clip was beginning to receive, Mayer took to rebuff Renfamous' account later the same evening, informing her, quote, LMAO, which everybody knows what that means, I'm sure, nothing was exposed, unquote. Quote, it's not a big deal, unquote, she asserted. Quote, he reached for something behind his laptop and didn't realize where his camera went, unquote. Quote, this was so obviously a boomer moment. It's sad that you're trying to manipulate it into something deliberate or perverse, unquote, concluded the comedian. Good choice of words. I like her choice of words on that. Because if you think about it, Renfamous, who is trying to pull this, yeah, it's kind of funny, what's the whole idea of projection, right? Maybe Renfamous is projecting something there. I don't speak Renfamous; it's a dead language. No kidding. Oh, yeah, I get your point, RJ. Yeah, but I like Miss Mayer's. I like Chrissy's choice of words on that, perverse. Because if you think about it, I think Miss Cooper may be perverse herself. Maybe she's deflecting a little bit. Let's see what RJ has to say. Renfamous is on the record as wanting to take fire hoses to gay pride parades. Receipts exist. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe that blue hair dye she uses leaked into her brain or something like that. Kind of have to wonder about that, right? Maybe some of that blue hair dye she uses leaked into her brain. Just saying. Let's see. As we Bulma Green. That's an interesting look. Or is that no? I'm sorry, that's not Bulma. That's somebody else, I guess. Notably, this backlash has not had an effect on Mignogna's future appearances on Mayer's Simpcast, as the voice actor returned for the very next episode of the show on December 11th. Yeah, because Chrissy didn't take it as apparently Chrissy didn't take it as the way of Renfamous did. But as we all know, nobody really speaks Renfamous, and we're probably all better for it, right, RJ? Renfamous probably lives in her own little world that nobody wants to venture to. Anyways, those are the two main articles, and we got plenty of time to go here. So I think I'm gonna hit up CBR next and go cruising for some articles there. See what's on tap there. And we'll go back to since RG's. We'll go back to the comic section. See what information we can find on some of that. stuff that doesn't not necessarily spoilers or anything. There's one day ago, one day. Oh, so there's not really a whole lot new inside of a day here. All right, 11. Why Batman Spawn intended DC's infamous faceless included. That sounds like a spoiler. Spider-Man, J. Jonah Jameson is officially the Marvel's Universe's Ebenezer Scrooge. All right, that's more of a profile piece, so we'll do that one. Kind of look at that one a bit there. Get some commentary, and RJ, I'm sure you'll want to join in on this. Spider-Man, J. Jonah Jameson is officially Marvel Universe's Ebenezer Scrooge. J. Jonah Jameson officially becomes the Ebenezer Scrooge of the Marvel Universe when he tries to cancel Christmas in Amazing Spider-Man number 15. Oh my goodness. I mean, we know dude's a bit of a hard guy, but come on, canceling Christmas? By Brandon Schwer, published 10 hours ago or 11 hours ago. A warning: the following. Oh, okay. Never mind then. I didn't think it was actually going to be spoilers, but I was wrong. As I said, I don't. I'm sorry about that. I don't do spoilers. Just I would prefer not to. I should have maybe realized that. But let's see. Let's see. DC and Marvel should amalgam universe appears to be back in DC continuity. That might. Let's see. That might be a spoiler. Man recognizes Santa Claus. Status as Mighty Marvel Mutant. Batman Spawn debuts the Court of Owl's new cosmic talent. Okay, let's see. Deadpool's new partner is also one of Wolverine's most vicious enemies. Yeah, a lot of these would be really. Yeah, that one might be because he's adding characters to stories, and yeah. All right, sorry about that. Let's see. Let's get ready to move on to. Well, we'll check the TV stuff out then, see if there's any like animated cartoon news to look at here. See. Skeleton Crew, let's see, Marvel's Echo Series. Alright, let's see. I'm just seeing if there's anything that's not. Let's see. Okay, this sounds like more of a generic article here. All right, so let's see now. Right. Acting as a streaming middleman, Verizon hopes to offer stronger competition to Amazon and Roku for offering Netflix Premium without charge. Article by Jody Brown, published 7 hours ago. In an effort to offer stiffer competition to Amazon and Roku as a reliable streaming middleman, telecommunications giant Verizon will offer viewers an enticing Netflix proposition to garner attention to its newly launched service. Verizon announced the beta launch of its subscription service aggregator Plus Play on December 14th, as the Hollywood Reporter reports. The service allows people to search for various streamers, subscribe to them, and pay for them in one hub, with everything connected to their internet or cell phone bill. To encourage streamers to use their hub, the company partnered with Netflix to offer Netflix Premium should anyone subscribe to another service through the aggregator. Typically, Netflix Premium costs $19.99 a month for users. Verizon hubs Netflix subscriptions. In a statement, Verizon's Chief Content Officer, Aaron McPherson, said their streaming initiative affords customers more choices and offers them a more fluid billing experience, as they can more effectively manage their various subscriptions. We're thrilled to officially launch Plus Play in an open beta, offering our customers exclusive access to offers and the tools to manage their growing number of subscription services. McPherson said, quote, as the network America relies on, and one of the largest direct-to-consumer distributors in the U.S., Verizon is a partner of choice for content and subscriptions services, and we're positioned to move that industry forward by offering customers more choice, enabling a seamless billing and management experience. Verizon's Plus Play service offers a variety of movie and sports streaming alternatives for customers, including HBO Max, AMC Plus, NFL Plus, NBA League Pass, and among others. Thanks to Plus Play, Verizon hopes to occupy a large space in the race to intermediate relationships between consumers and streaming services, boosting the growth of the services while taking a part of the proceeds. Amazon is a top streaming middleman in the marketplace thanks to Amazon Prime Video. Earlier in December, the technology company's streaming service reintroduced HBO Max to its channel offerings after striking a new deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, and last until the end of 2024. As a result, users who subscribe to HBO's streaming service through Amazon Prime Video can access its full catalog of shows and films, plus content on the newly merged HBO Max Discovery platform once it launches next spring. Like Amazon and Roku, Verizon dabbled in the content space. However, the company shifted its focus from media, with CEO Hans Vestberg confirming that the move, after their attempts to create a streaming TV service, fell through. Additionally, the Go 90 video platform shut down as they left the content business. With the Netflix offer and the rolling out of its hub, Verizon hopes to compete with those tech giants as a neutral player rather than through the content space directly. Netflix has a wide variety of popular series that Verizon users can access with the free premium service offer, including Wednesday, Stranger Things, and Monster, Dahmer Monster, Jeffrey Dahmer story. Oh, there we go, that one. Alrighty then. Get ready to move on to the next story then. Let's see. Hmm. Here's something an anime. Winnie the Pooh prequel movie series in the works, but not from Disney. DreamWorks alumni Mike DeSieve and John Reynolds reveal their plans to create a prequel Winnie the Pooh film and TV series. Article by Cassidy Stevenson, published 7 hours ago. So here we go with this one then. A Winnie the Pooh prequel movie and series are in development at Baboon Animation and IQI Media Incorporated. According to the Hollywood Reporter, DreamWorks alum Mike DeSieve of Madagascar fame will direct and co-write the upcoming adaptation of John Reynolds' The Mr. Body and Sherman Show, another former DreamWorks employee. Quote, we're telling the surprising origin story of the quote unquote silly young bear and his friends when they were still kids in a way designed to connect with 21st century kids, unquote. Reynolds said, quote, I think this unsinkable young cub is totally relatable for today's kids, with his hell-bent craving for honey and his ludicrous schemes to get it, unquote, DeSieve added. After the release of the Winnie the Pooh prequel film, a series following the Honey Bear is scheduled to premiere. Charlene Kelly, Next Gen, and Kyo Hui Lim will executive produce both projects, along with DeSive's Baboon Animation. There are currently no casting details for the film or series. The adorable fictional bear debuted in the 1926 book Winnie the Pooh by author A. Milne and illustrator E. H. Shepard. In 1961, the rights were licensed to Walt Disney Productions, and the studio subsequently produced several features and television series based on Pooh and his friends in the Hundred Acre Wood. The most notable additions include The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and the Tigger movie. The upcoming Winnie the Pooh prequel film and series join other adaptations of British children's characters. 2014's Paddington adapts Michael Bond's Paddington Bear stories, featuring actors like Downtown Abbey's Hugh Bonneville, Harry Potter's Julia Walters, and Batman Forever's Nicole Kidman. The film received an acclaimed sequel in 2017, and a third film is reportedly in development. Let's see. Winnie the Pooh is in public domain. In January 2022, the 1926 book entered the public domain, giving artists free rein to produce Winnie the Pooh themed media. This prompted director Reese Frake Waterfield to create Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. The independent slasher film follows Christopher. Oh, they actually made Winnie the Pooh into a slasher film? Oh my goodness. Somebody's got a little bit of a twisted mind, don't they? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. And his animal pals eventually turn rabid after going without food and companionship for years. Christopher and his new wife discover a terrifying Pooh and Piglet after their return to the 100-Acre Wood. Meanwhile, 2018's Christopher Robin is a more tame adaptation of the classic franchise. The live-action CGI film stars Ewan McGregor as the titular character, who reunites with childhood friends after struggling with his sense of imagination. In addition to McGregor, Christopher Robin also features Haley Atwell, Jim Cummings, and Brad Garrett. And Jim Cummings is a longtime voice actor who's done a number of voices for Disney over the years. To mine, I remember like he did Dingo in Gargoyles. He was Montgomery Jack in Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. The Winnie the Pooh prequel film has a planned release window of 2024, with the series to follow sometime after. Okay. There we go with that one. All right, as we continue on here, let's see. Let's see, what else can we find here? And we're just looking to see what else. All right, so let's see. All right, so so now we'll look through the anime stuff. Of course, before we get into that, I'm going to need to go off camera here for a moment as soon as I get this set up. All right, with that, I'm going to go off camera here for a moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And that can go sometimes. Anyways, well, let's get into some anime articles here. We're not even at an hour yet. So, anyways, there's one that sounds interesting. Sailor Moon could beat Dragon Ball Z Son Goku. Parentheses, yes, really. Few anime characters are stronger than Dragon Ball Z heroes, but Sailor Moon could take on Goku and win. Article by Anthony Gramuglia, updated 15 hours ago. So let's see what this is all about. Dragon Ball Z has the reputation as the greatest action anime ever, earned through its insane combat in which godlike heroes and villains battle atop crumbling planets because so many characters are so absurdly powerful. It's sometimes mistakenly believed they are somehow unmatched in any fiction. However, if you look at the limits of Goku's abilities, there are several other anime characters with more power. For instance, there's the Super Tengen Toppa Gurren, a universe sized robot that throws galaxies like shurikens. Oh boy. Saitama, who defeats every adversary in one punch. And Haruhi Suzumiya, a god who can rewrite reality on a whim. Even Nintendo's Kirby can take Goku down with its own unique abilities. But one character you might never expect to be stronger than Goku is Usagi Tsukino, better known as Sailor Moon. Um, let's go to the tail of the tape to determine if Sailor Moon is stronger than Goku. I'm going to go off camera here one more time for a quick moment. I will be right back, but before we do that, let's just. All right, we're back. Just had to get on my nose, hopefully. Anyways, all right, so Goku outclasses Sailor Moon in physical strength. Sailor Moon is not really thought of as a fighting series, quote unquote. It features very well few all out brawls. Despite the desire for a Sailor Moon fighting game, Usagi isn't particularly that strong physically, and she has no martial arts training. Goku were to get into a fist fight with Usagi, she would undoubtedly um, knock her down hard, or he would undoubtedly knock her down hard. However, Usagi is surprisingly durable, except for that time she fought an entire battle on a spaceship that amplified the gravity to more than 10 times that of Earth, in Sailor Moon R. Usagi um, combats Rubius, a member of the Black Moon Clan, um, who uses his ship's gravity alteration device to toss her around, transitioning from zero gravity to super gravity, yet despite enduring gravity fluctuation comparable to that under which Goku trained en route to Namek, Usagi rises to her feet. Fight takes place less than a year after Usagi became Sailor Moon. It took Goku decades to do what Usagi can accomplish naturally. Usagi also often takes a brutal amount of punishment, but no instance comes close to the time she dives into the galaxy cauldron, force of raw universal that can create and destroy all things. And she survived. Sure, Goku can trade blows with the god of destruction, Beerus, but Usagi survived cosmic destructive forces. Sailor Moon, destroyer of worlds. Look at that picture going with that caption. Sailor Moon, destroyer of worlds. And she gives the victory sign with a wink and a smile. Oh boy. Ah. Ah. So funny. Just an ironic twist there on that. Usagi. Now, Usagi is the Japanese word for rabbit, just for those who may not know. Um, hence, kind of her look. Some people call those buns of hers, or the long strands there, like bunny ears. Usagi is okay. We read that part. Oh wait, Usagi is a normal human being. Mr. Satan is stronger than she is. However, when transformed into Sailor Moon, she has the ability to destroy planets. Wise Man, the primary antagonist of the Sailor Moon manga's second arc, is a sentient planet. Think Marvel's Ego the Living Planet, only with the ability to rip holes through time and space and eradicate entire worlds with their aura. Um, Usagi and her daughter Chibiusa blew up the whole planet. And that was before Usagi gained the ability to become Super Sailor Moon, or her stronger form, Eternal Sailor Moon. Those transformations multiply her magical abilities, allowing her to combat such threats as Pharaoh 90, an outer dimensional entity of an almost Lovecraftian nature. In the final arc, Eternal Sailor Moon combats Sailor Galaxia, and the strongest of all sailor soldiers who possessed the sapphire crystal, um, a counter to Usagi's own silver crystal. That is, potential powerful enough to ravage galaxies. The final battle of Sailor Moon is fought over whether Galaxia will end all life in the universe, and Galaxia, quite frankly, gets way closer to accomplishing that than any villain in Dragon Ball Z. Sailor Moon's fighting style counters Goku. While Goku's primary fighting style involves martial arts, Usagi rarely engages in physical combat. He instead employs magical attacks from a distance. All of Usagi's adversaries are powerful on a downright cosmic level, because most are incorporeal. They're foes that someone like Goku might have a more difficult time facing. Usagi's fighting style, however, is perfectly suited for those kind of threats, opting for long range magical attacks over a close quarters combat. And this means long range. The second arc of both the anime and the manga introduced Usagi's future self, Neo Queen Serenity, who's able to combat planet-sized wise men um, from across the solar system, all while living her life and governing Crystal Tokyo. However, the true source of Usagi's power is love and healing. It can rewrite reality and even reverse the forces of universal destruction in order to save those he loves. Goku is strong, but there is little he can do that Sailor Moon can't and undo. Like bring a planet back after it's been destroyed. But there is one more element that tips the scales decidedly in Sailor Moon's favor, her final form. Sailor Moon is easily stronger than Goku. An interesting analysis, by the way, here on this. Pretty interesting the way they do this. Sailor Moon's final incarnation is Sailor Cosmos, um, essentially a physical god. She can bend the laws of reality, warping through time and space and time without difficulty. Even the stars themselves are subject to her power. The final arc of Sailor Moon reintroduces chaos, the manifestation of evil and destruction in the universe. Imagine if you combined Kid Buu with Beerus, only given an incorporeal form. Chaos is immortal, cannot be wounded, cannot be hurt, and exists as long as the universe does. Yeah, that's kind of a subtext that's in a lot of fiction. The idea of order versus chaos, right? You see it in DC Comics, the Lords of Order who grant the powers to people like Doctor Fate. You have the Lords of Chaos who grant powers to like Woken. Let's see. You would have to destroy the universe itself in order to destroy chaos. But as I recall too, I remember in the '90s X-Men series they kind of played that out in the Beyond Good and Evil story arc. in which you had Bishop sitting there, traveling the bridge of time, whatever, and the janitor there would eventually become Mortis, I guess. Um, where basically, he could even theorize that you can't really destroy evil because good and evil must both exist in one universe. The yin and the yang, right? So even if Apocalypse was destroyed in that, somebody else would have to take his place. Um, in Dragon Ball Super, Goku never truly beats Beerus. He competes, albeit briefly, against him, but doesn't win. By comparison, Sailor Cosmos fights Chaos to a standstill after centuries of non-stop combat. Cosmos becomes a universal force of light and good to counterbalance evil. So how can Sailor Moon beat Goku? In short, Usagi is capable of feats comparable to Goku. He can survive planet-destroying strikes, and while not as physically strong as Goku, she usually places enough distance between her adversaries and herself to eliminate the need for hand-to-hand combat. Plus, she's got other people for that. I mean, Sailor Jupiter is well known as probably when it comes to hand combat, Sailor Jupiter of that core five is probably the strongest. Um, with possibly Venus being second and Ray being second and third kind of toss it between Venus and Mars or Mina and Ray. So um, Usagi can beat Goku so long as the fight ends up playing to her strength. If Goku moving close, communication could get dicey. However, it's possible Usagi's own abilities, especially as either Eternal Sailor Moon, um, to keep her on her feet, if Goku go Super Saiyan Blue or Ultra Instinct, it's possible he could turn the tide against Usagi, especially if in close quarters. However, given how much punishment Usagi can endure and dish out, possible she can outlast Goku. If Usagi um, can fight Goku using primarily her magic against his ki, she might be able to, at full power, to outlast Goku. But against Sailor Cosmos, Goku might as well fight Zeno. In many years, pitting Goku and Sailor Moon against each other is like pitting Superman and Doctor Fate um, against one another. They're both incredibly powerful. Superman is stronger, but Doctor Fate would probably win because he's basically all powerful. Um, come the end of Sailor Moon, Usagi Tsukino is all powerful and could easily give Goku a run for his money. So let's see where we're at on time now. See, we're at the hour 11 mark. Okay. So, yeah, so let's see what else we can find. Maybe one more anime story before we. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I think it might be a good time to get into Oh, this one sounds interesting. Go ahead and look at this one. One Piece announces iconic collaboration with famous designer Michael Lau. A new series of collectible One Piece figures arrives, designed by Michael Lau, an artist known by many as the godfather of designer toys. Article by Renee Senzatamor, published 5 hours ago. One Piece has teamed up with renowned Hong Kong-based artist Michael Lau to launch a series of collectible designer figures. The official One Piece Twitter account at Eiichiro Staff, in parentheses there, announced this news in a recent post, which also includes images of Luffy, Zoro, and Chopper figures that comprise the first set. While the post does not specify what the figures are made out of, they appear to be crafted using same vinyl material that Lau credited for popularizing within the designer toy community. The figures are available now exclusively in the Hong Kong region. These are the materials I guess they're talking about here. Michael Lau is a professional art designer and has collaborated with iconic brands like Puma, Nike, and Fendi. In addition to his work as a painter and sculptor, Lau is also known for his innovative approach to toy design. He broke into the market in the 1990s with the Gardner series, which took G.I. Joe figures and presented them in street culture style designs. His future projects also drew influence from street culture, leading Lau to become particularly well known in the Asian hip hop and skateboarding community. Pertinently, Lau credited as the first artist to make collectible figures out of vinyl, which led to his affectionate title as the godfather of designer toys. One Piece's pop culture impact. Lau's team up with One Piece closes off a year filled with high-profile merchandise releases for One Piece, which which has collaborated with brands such as Bandai, Uniqlo, Vans, and Lush to release toys, apparel, and bath products inspired by the hit series. Back in July, Salon Bake and Tea and Cake JP even released pastry versions of Luffy Gum Gum Fruit and Nico Robin's Hana Hana Fruit, which sold for about 13,000 yen, roughly $400, and 44,400 yen, roughly $32, respectively. Hana means flower in Japanese. The degree of outside collaboration is not surprising, considering that One Piece is one of the most popular manga series of all time, with over 516.6 million copies sold as of November 2022. The franchise's latest film, One Film Red, recently debuted to overwhelming financial success in several countries, including the United States, China, and Saudi Arabia. One Piece's influence continues to expand beyond the world of manga and anime. Recently, Shueisha Games announced that One Piece was breaking into tabletop gaming market with a new manga board game titled Vive Rush, which becomes available worldwide starting December 19th. December 19th, which will be this coming Monday. Ilka Yakuza o Nia Ilka of Yakuza 0 Near Automata fame is also developing a new One Piece RPG in celebration of the franchise's 25th anniversary. This RPG, titled One Piece Odyssey, is an open world adventure that will allow players to explore the vast world of Eiichiro Oda's beloved series. The game launches worldwide on January 13th, 2023. The One Piece anime is available to stream on Hulu and Crunchyroll. The manga is available in English from Viz Media. So there we go with that one. So that's all. That's all we're going to do on the articles. We're now coming up on an hour 19 here. Probably a good time to start winding these down. So we'll get to the wrestling roundup. Before I do that, I want to send one little message here. All right, so we'll do. All right, so with that, guys. So first off, let's do some quick wrestling wrap up notes here. Of course, some breaking news that happened today. So Mandy Rose apparently been released by the WWE. Now, Mandy Rose was most recently the NXT Women's Champion until they had her lose the title to, I believe it was Raquel Rodriguez, I believe, or Raquel Perez. Um, Now, supposedly, initially they thought this is because people thought this is because she's going to be called up to the main roster, but apparently that's not the case. Apparently, I think some of the higher ups at WWE were not too happy with some of the content that Mandy may have been posting onto one of her social media accounts. It's been reported that I guess she was um, posting some very mature material um, on some of her social media account. and as such was apparently in violation of our contract with the WWE. So, so Mandy Rose is apparently been released from the WWE. Also, it's still it's being reported that many higher ups in the WWE do not want Vince McMahon back. Now, I mentioned this yesterday in the wrap up where Vince McMahon was talking about possibly trying to come back, but I think most people would agree it's probably not a good idea. You know, the industry itself is kind of moving on from pretty deep of it to begin with. Um, but also, there's a lot of people like they don't want him back because they feel like looks like things are getting better for the WWE. Even Wall Street apparently doesn't like that. We have Vince McMahon coming back, especially in light of these new allegations coming out. Because when he announced he was thinking about coming back, the stock dropped for WWE. So that's probably not really something that people are looking forward to. So at least we look at the WWE news. Some AEW news, of course. News came out in regards to Jeff Hardy. Um, as many people may know, Jeff Hardy has been suspended on suspension from AEW while he's going through his court case on drunk driving, legal issues, drunk driving charge from back in June. Um, he's got a his next he's got to appear in court this one week from today on the 21st. Um, the reason that apparently things have been taking so long with his case because his lawyers are trying to find a way to negotiate with prosecutors to possibly avoid a trial. So we're going to have to do so. But Jeff is going to have to make the court appearance next Wednesday. I have already, and of course, tomorrow I'll be talking about what happened on Dynamite tonight. And tonight, of course, MJF, Ricky Stark's going to be battling for, of course, AEW World Title as well as the Dynamite title ring, the best of seven series between the TX champion Death Triangle and the Elite still going on. Four going on. Ruby Soho is looking for revenge today against Carmella for putting her out of action for the last few months, the last couple of months here with a broken nose, and then House of Black is also on the card. So with that, we'll start wrapping things up here. So anyway, all right. So with that, guys, and start wrapping things up here a bit. As today is Wednesday, um, today is Wednesday, um, is Wednesday, December the 14th, 2022. We're gonna go ahead and take a look back. December 14th, 2022. We're gonna take a look back at this day in each history. History. So, anyways, as soon as I look some stuff up here. All right, so with that, let's um, go ahead and take a look back at this day in each history. And the first spot we're going to go back to 1962. As on this date back in 1962, a couple title changes happened. As 60 years ago today, Johnny Valentine, the father of Greg the Hammer Valentine, would regain the Toronto version of the NWA United States title from Bruno Sammartino in Toronto. This is, of course, from Maple Leaf Wrestling. Also, Mike Sharp, I believe that was Mike Sharp Sr., maybe, um, wins the, let me see, there was a Mike Sharp Sr. and, yeah, Mike Sharp Sr. That's what I thought. Because everybody remembers the WWE enhancement talent Mike Sharp Jr., or I am Mike Sharp. But Mike Sharp Sr. would win the British Empire Heavyweight Championship from Whippoorwill Watson in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which of course was home to the Stampede Wrestling with two hearts. So Mike Sharp defeated Whippoorwill Watson on this date as well for the um, British Empire, NWA British Empire Heavyweight title. So with that, moving on to the next piece of niche history. On this date in 1972, 50 years ago today, and for all comic fans, on this date in 1972, Shazam #1 would go on sale on this date from DC Comics. This was, of course, Billy Batson's Captain Marvel first appearance in the DCU. So on this date in 1972, 50 years ago today, Shazam #1 went on sale on this date. Anyway, it sold for 20 cents and was 32 pages. So on this date in 1972, Shazam #1 went on sale. And also, on this date 50 years ago today, as 1972 is just so nice, so we're going to hit it twice. Sorry, excuse me one more time, folks. Sorry, I'm going to go up camera here one more time here before we go. So, well, let me put the music on for you. All right, I'm back. So, anyways, getting back to last piece of niche history here. 50 years ago today, on this date, as well as we just previously talked about, the Filmation produced Journey Back to Oz hit theaters on this date back in 1972. The Filmation's adaptation of L. Frank Baum's second Oz novel, The Marvelous Land of Oz. So, um, on this date, back in 1972, um, Journey Back to Oz from Filmation was released in theaters. Well, there you go, folks. That's all I got for you tonight. I thank everybody for being here tonight. Um, thank everybody for being here tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the content. So with that, don't forget, of course, we'll be back here tomorrow night with more niche news coverage. Also, Fridays are, of course, our weekly look back at comics history. I'll have Tim Olson with me that night Tim Olson with me that night as we go through comics that went on sale in July of 1939. From this week, we'll be focusing, of course, on Centaur publications. So hopefully you guys will be back for that. And of course, Sunday is our weekend edition, which that's our panel show. Hopefully we'll be able to, RJ will be able to update us on whatever's going on with Mike Barron. Aside from that, hope to see everybody back here tomorrow night, Friday every night. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.